Sal, I take no pleasure in this. I take a little.
Yeah, I don't believe you. I see the smirk on your face.
This is not going to be a good day for you because Juan Soto is going to be a Yankee, and they will not stop until they are once again despised and loathed, and the universe is restored. The evil empire is coming back.
While I admit Sal is getting angry, I am still going to stick to the belief that it is not going to happen to the extent that you think it is. And it seems right now like it's a done deal. Juan Soto's going to be in pinstripes. I'm not buying it until I see it. Until I see confirmed, done deal. I can't believe that the San Diego Padres are going to be that stupid that they wouldn't even wait until Shohei Ohtani makes his decision so they could have other teams getting involved in a trade for Juan Soto. That's number one. Number two, the Yankees talk as if they're getting Yamamoto. Brian Cashman with his snarky remarks yesterday. Oh, I can't compete with Steve Cohen, but we like our plan in place. It was a little jab, a little dig, as if the Yankees know that they're getting Yamamoto and Soto. I don't believe it. I'll react if and when it does. Right now, I still don't believe it. Yankees need to prove to me, based on what they've done in recent years, they need to still prove to me that they're going to act like big boys for a change. I'm not buying it, BT.
I've sensed this for months. You know, there's always a tipping point. And listen, and again, it's not done. Sal's right. I mean, it's not time to pop the champagne yet.
Oh, really? I mean, it sounds like
yet.
Everybody else is celebrating.
Well, it's getting there. I think
And by the way,
yeah.
I mean, what does he want in San Diego? What is Juan Soto? I mean, you're making it like you're going to get Juan Soto, and all of a sudden their World Series championship is going to be raining down here.
No.
There is no guarantee with that either.
No, I'm just making it that the Yankees will have one of the 2 or 3 best hitters in baseball in the middle of their lineup with a short porch that's less than 315 feet away.
I get it.
And he hits from the left side. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I think that, listen, the direction of the Yankees for a while has been so maddening. Because we know their resources, we've known their reluctance to play with the big boys the way that they used to, and so many of their moves were just horrendous, and they were trying to build a new model, right? And quite frankly, they're not smart enough to do that. You know, they were trying to reinvent their wheel. The Yankees' wheel should always have the same few spokes. Stud number 1, stud number 2, stud number 3, and stud number 4. And I do think it's very interesting. Like, Brian Cashman he was very forthright. Like, I actually got text last night from a few of my buddies, not in the industry, right? Yeah. They're like, did they change the rules about being able to speak about other people's property?
Him and Boone both.
It was crazy.
Oh, he looked great in pinstripes.
Yeah. Which tells you that, you know, they're obviously very deep in the water. And I never once for a second thought that the Yankees would allow. Now, again, first of all, the deal's not done. Soto's not here, and we don't know what pieces are going to go back to San Diego. Ultimately, when it is done, which I believe it will be done today. But I never thought for a second that the Yankees, when they had to stand up and make the move, would flinch and say, no, we can't give you Michael King. No, we can't give you this kid Thorpe. The Yanks are doing this no matter what. They have to.
Well,
and
then
they know it.
Then that's just bad business. Even more so, Cashman and Boone yesterday running their mouths, talking about how much they want Soto. Jack Curry, who I respect on Yes, talking about Yankee and tweeting it out. Yankees know they need to make this deal. Well, if the Yankees know that and reporters know that, don't you think the Padres know that? If you're San Diego, I mean, what are you doing? The only way you do a deal before Ohtani signs is if you know you're exceeding the value by a landslide. Why would you do it now? I mean, my God, what are the Padres that dumb that they're going to make this deal now without waiting to see what teams will be involved for Shohei Ohtani? If that's the case, that means it's an extreme overpay by the Yankees, which I would actually give them credit for because this is a player that they need to get.
They've always held on to their prospects. They've always hyped them up, and then when they get a look at the bigs, particularly their hitters, they fizzle out, they're duds, and then we just want to get rid of them, and any value they once had is completely gone. And maybe they've learned a lesson from that. You know, listen, I do think this is a numbers thing. I understand, like, if I'm a Mets fan, if I'm a fan of some other teams, I'm sitting there saying, man, if the Yankees, and I know that Thorpe is obviously an incredibly highly rated prospect, and I really like Michael King.
Give me a break. Guy hasn't sniffed the majors.
I understand that.
I don't want to hear about it.
I'm just saying he's a good prospect, but I'm saying, like, there's only so many teams going after him, and I don't understand it. I know it's a rental. I know he's going up to $30 to $32 million in arbitration. I just don't get it. For a middle-of-the-order thumper with a discerning eye who's always on base, I know he's not good on the bases. He's not a good outfielder, whatever. He's 25. He's won a World Series. He's been a stud in the world. They took Garrett Cole opposite field in the world at the age of 19. Like, I don't know why more teams aren't involved. But you know what, Sal? At the end of the day, I don't care.
Yeah.
If it takes 6 players to get Juan Soto, take them. Except Domingue. I mean minor league prospects. Take them.
If you paint a picture, and I guess we're very close to that picture being complete here, if you paint a picture where the Yankees get Juan Soto and didn't have to give up Dominguez or Volpe or any of the guys that can be an impact now, well, I guess we don't know about like Peraza or whatever, but, I mean, how is that even possible? Michael King is the king piece that's going the other way? You're right. It does bother me. It doesn't bother you, but it bothers me. And actually, not even just from a Met fan perspective, like, how could all these other teams be so stupid when you have an asset like that is so unique?
Yeah.
That a guy, I don't care if it's for 1 year rental or not, he is Juan Soto.
He's the man.
How are other teams not being in on him? It makes no sense. This can't be this easy for the Yankees. Oh, the Yankees need to feel some pain. It has to sting for them to get a play. I freaking hope so. And by the way, Michael King, that's what's going to sting. A 30-year-old pitcher who's been hurt. He's not even a real starter. Bullpen starter. We're making it like Michael King is the next Cy Young. That's the guy. Michael King, who's been a bullpen guy. Good pitcher.
9 starts last year. Not many. Only 104 innings. But so you got to keep working. Not even at 150 innings.
He's a tweener. What is Mike? A 30-year-old tweener.
29.
Who hasn't established himself at all. And Drew Thorpe hasn't thrown a pitch in the big leagues. That's what. It's really gonna hurt to give up King and Thorpe for Juan Soto. I mean, give me a freaking break.
877-337-6666. This really has the makings of a special day for the Yankee fan, and really it could be an amazing 2 weeks because I think Yamamoto's coming too.
Oh, stop!
I mean, you can put the brakes on.
Way.
You can. I appreciate you fighting the good fight.
They think he's coming too. The way that they talk.
I know, but listen, and I've been there as well. Like, I was defiant about the Jets. I get it. Fandom. I love it. I respect it. I expect it from Sal, and I expect it from the Met fans and other fans of other teams who are not in the mix for Soto, whatever. But right now, any pushback on the Yankees getting Soto and Yamamoto is not rooted in reality. Doesn't mean it's definitely going to happen. Both of them. But what every single sign says, the Yankees are about to strike with a force that they have not struck with since 2009. And they are, doesn't mean that they will, they are trying to obliterate the baseball universe again. And a lot of Yankee fans did not think we'd get back here. Oh, it's Hal. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's Cashman. Oh, they're cheap. Oh, it's luxury tax. Oh, there's too many other teams in their way. Oh, they haven't adapted to the modern way of baseball. You know what they're going back to? Their roots. Sometimes you got to go back to your core and say, what made us the Yankees? Well, what made the Yankees is getting the best players and absolutely dismantling all the other teams. That's what made them the Yankees.
Agreed. Hasn't happened yet.
No, I know.
No, but you
understood.
You and other Yankee fans, I see it, acting like everything has happened yet.
Well, true. No, listen, and this could get unplugged, and the tables can turn, and I'll deal with it. But the reason I'm feeling so emboldened about this is because there was one voice in the wilderness, one voice calling out, "They're coming." There was one voice who said, "They're ready to strike," and you and Huff and all the Met fans laughed and mocked. And by the way,
Yankee fans too.
That voice was this one.
Yeah.
I told you.
Nothing happened yet.
I told you that they were done being embarrassed.
Go. It's about time.
I agree with that part.
It's about time.
I agree.
I mean, hey, look, I didn't talk about the luxury tax threshold. They did.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden it's not. Okay. Because they're not going to be able to trade for Soto, sign Yamamoto for over $300 million, which maybe he's going to get now.
I saw that.
And then re-sign Soto as well. I mean, are they going to do that?
Yes.
Is that what's going to happen?
Yes.
So the Yankees are going to spend over $400 million on Soto to keep him, Over $300 million on Yamamoto, not to mention Cole, Judge,
Yep.
Stanton, all the other.
I believe that they will.
Okay.
I really do.
Well, when they do that, then the evil empire is back.
877-337-6666. BT and Sal on the Fan. It's going to be an interesting day right here.
It's going to get nasty around here.
I've just been begging baseball gods, just deliver this. I don't care if it's 1:57 and 12 seconds before Evan and Tiki get on, though I prefer it's a lot earlier than that. I need to see my partner's face when it's official.
No.
I need it.
I can't.
I need it.
This is going to be bad. I'm telling you now, not just today. If they get both, Soto's one thing, and I'm still not buying that. If they get both, it's going to be bad. It's going to be a problem for the Mets. We'll get into the Mets a little bit later on, but it's going to be a problem.
We're inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guarantee lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Let's get to these calls here. 877-337-6666. BT and Sal on the Fan. By the way, today's the Yankees holiday food drive. It is today, 2 p.m. over at the stadium. Actually, from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. So if you're in the charitable mood, and hopefully many of you are, head over to the stadium. Maybe pick up the early Juan Soto jersey as you hand off some free food as well for people who need it. And if you donate 40 pounds of non-perishable food like canned goods or oatmeal, you get 2 tickets to a Yankees game in 2024, hopefully to see Soto go yard and Yamamoto spin a gem. All right, let's get to It's going to get ugly around here. Kevin's up in North Bergen, BT and South. Kev, what's going on, Kev?
How's it going, guys?
Hey, how are you?
What's up, Kev?
Good. I just got a couple quick comments. I know you guys got a lot of callers. First one, the first proposition with the six players for Juan Soto, I don't know why they didn't exercise that to begin with. I personally just think that it doesn't end up biting them in the butt and they end up making this trade because, for a couple of guys that haven't even made it to the big leagues yet, I think that would have been the right trade to make. I don't know why there's a lot of arguments or speculations for that trade request. That's my first comment.
Can I give you my thought, Kev? Can I give my thoughts on why I think it's been speculated with a fair amount of intensity? You want my theory?
Sure.
Okay. I just don't think there's many teams at the table. And actually there's nobody else at the table now, at least in terms of the seriousness that the Yanks and the Padres are engaged in. The Padres, and I told you guys this a month ago, they need to shed money. They borrowed $50 million last year to meet payroll. His arbitration is going to get jacked up to $30 or $32 million, and they've got a lot of bad contracts on the board. So since nobody, and he's a rental, so since nobody else is really going as seriously as the Yankees, why in the world, until they have to acquiesce, the Yankees can kind of put up this resistance like we're not doing it. And then if they have to do it, you ultimately do it. But right now, there's no competition to do it. You don't have to.
That is fair, but it is a slippery slope if we're looking into the future as far as if we're going to keep him or not. Last comment I want to make, there's also speculations of them trying to exercise getting Juan Soto and Yamamoto. I believe that they're going to try it, not saying that it will, because I would imagine that if you are, expressing your interest in him, you've at least looked into, budget and seen, how can we keep this guy long term? Now, if their original intention is let's get Soto for a year, rent him out, and then see what we do, I don't think that's the right way to go about it because then Daddy Cohen is going to come next year. He'll pick him out, and it's going to be like, we kind of did it for nothing. Now, a year rental, it's worth the gamble, but
look, you have a chance to go get Juan Soto. You do it. You worry about next year. I mean, that's as simple as that. I don't want to hear about the bullcrap timing from the Mets. I don't want to hear about, it's just a rental. This is baseball. You don't know what's going to happen 2 years from now, 2 months from now. You go get this guy now for this year. You worry about the end of the year at the end of the year.
Yep.
If a player of this magnitude is available, any team should be doing whatever it takes to go get him and insert them in their lineup for 1 year. So the Yankees may be smarter and more aggressive than everybody else, apparently, because somehow nobody else wants Juan Soto. I don't understand it. But, the reality is, if you're a functioning baseball team, you should be inquiring about Juan Soto, even if it's for 1 year, even if it's for $30 million, even if it means giving up a top prospect in AA. Give me a freaking break.
I think, Sal, one of the greatest sporting crimes, and we've all been through this with our various teams, is when you you waste the prime years of a transcendent player. The Yankees have two of them. They've got Aaron Judge and they've got Garrett Cole. And they're starting to waste years. And that's part of the reason why I think you're going to see this, and I've always thought you're going to see this very aggressive pivot. But I also leaned on this term quite a bit, brand diminishment. You can mock Hal, and he's this, and he's not George, and the luxury tag. And I'm not saying you mock, I mean in general.
Right.
Because you've never gotten personal with Hal at all. But like these boundaries and these financial parameters that he's paid attention to so much more than his dad did. But when you get embarrassed and you are now watching your brand, which is platinum, like, whatever the most popular soccer team is in the world, or the Celtics and the Lakers and the Yankees and, the Dallas Cowboys and the Montreal Canadiens, like those you cannot stand for that. And you must react. And he is in the process of at least trying to really, really react.
Agreed. This is the one move. Forget Yamamoto for a second. Soto's the one move that changes the entire narrative. Fire Cashman. Boone doesn't know what he's doing. Yanks are inept. Ownership is not doing what they're... Soto to the Yankees, that changes all that. That's why it's the perfect move.
By the way, guys, today's going to be a very interesting day for the Jets. I know you kind of, talked out about Zach, but this is different. So everything going on, there's going to be a press conference. We'll carry it. We'll carry Robert Saleh's press conference today. And let me tell you something right now. This has the makings of one of the most interesting, I'm serious about this, New York sporting press conferences of our lifetime. Because if the reporters do their job, and I believe that they're ready to pounce at Florham Park and do their job, you are going to hear a lot about the Joe Beningo text exchange with Robert Saleh. He's got to be asked that. He must be.
I'm sure he will.
He's got to be asked about leaks in the building and rats and what Aaron Rodgers talked about. I mean, let me tell you something right now. If Robert Saleh does not handle this properly today, that is the end of his run as Jets coach.
We could be listening at 12:30 to what I think is his job on the line. Like, this is it. Robert Saleh, we always say, coaching for his job here or whatever. Big game, must win. Well, this press conference today, with all these things considered, who's going to be the starting quarterback, what happened with Zach, tell us about the Joe B stuff, and then the leaks in the building with Rodgers. All those things, if he does not handle that like an alpha male in total control, no wavering, no tap dancing and humming. I want legit, firm, true answers. If not, and it's not just you or I who want to hear that, obviously the fans, but like if I'm Woody Johnson or Joe Douglas, like your job is on the line here the way he handles this.
Woody's the good. I'm happy you inserted that because Woody gets a lot of heat, and I understand it, rightfully so. He's on the team for a long time, but the Jets have had a lot of bad seasons and a lot of chaos, right? But if you're Woody, you are sitting there today saying, what is my head coach going to project to the entire football universe? He better strike the right balance. He must. Imperative that he does. Wow, it's going to be a big day. This is going to be big day.
Please no, Soto.
Any Met tweets? Any right-handed AAA pitchers that you guys are pursuing today?
No scrubs that I know of.